Good morning, everybody. Michael the Maven. Today I'm going to try to answer the question in regards to where does lens sharpness fall in regards to the overall picture. I know I've made a lot of videos about lens sharpness and which lens is sharper than the other ones. And so I got 3 or 4 questions on those videos. How important is lens sharpness? I made a short list. If you guys want to make a list, I would love to see it. Post it in the comments below and I'll read through it. And I think I kind of have the order worked out in terms of what the most important elements are when you're creating a photograph. And lens sharpness falls at around 6. It's actually pretty low. Number 1 for me is exposure. If you can't see what it is, if it's too dark or if it's overexposed, nothing else matters in the image. The second most important thing, assuming that it's good enough, would be focus. If you have exposure and you have focus, you're off to a great start. If your image is not properly focused, even if it's close, for example, a portrait that has a slightly blurry eye, it can really ruin it. The third most important thing, in my opinion, is the subject matter itself. Are you trying to tell a story? Are you giving information? Are you presenting this as art? The moment you take a look at a photograph, in an instant, there is some type of information that's being conveyed about the subject. So I put that at number 3, most important thing. The fourth most important thing for me is composition. This deals with anything from the background to textures to framing. The composition is probably one of the hardest things to master, in my opinion. You can really master exposure and focus, but composition is a lifetime, maybe more, of study and practice. It's the elements in terms of the positioning that make it pleasing to look at. I kind of look at color at this point, whether it's the right white balance or the balance from the color wheel. Color to me is a vital part of making a great image. It could be black and white, but the importance of color in an image cannot be understated. And I think it's more important than a super sharp image, which is why I put lens sharpness at number 6. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be upset with me, but when I look at these other 5 elements, if they're all screwed up, sharp lenses just aren't going to matter as much. And I think this is kind of the point that the people asking the questions were trying to make. Why all the fuss about lens sharpness when it's not the most important thing in an image? Now, obviously, some of this is going to depend on where the image is being presented. If it's, on your iPhone versus a poster, lens sharpness becomes a lot more important. Same is true if it's shooting your kid's soccer game versus a high-end professional portrait. You obviously want very sharp lenses. So there is some, subjectivity in there as well. What is considered sharp? Resolution comes into play. But when we're talking about an image that's in focus, if it's close enough, sharpness isn't going to matter so much unless we're talking about the extremes, blown up or in a professional setting. And there are some other elements that I would include after lens sharpness. I would love to know what you think. Are there some elements of images that I didn't include in my list? And where does sharpness fall for you? Go ahead and put those in the comments below. I would love to read them. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.